Thank you for buying the best sellers collection from the Courtyard Dairy. What we've tried to do here is select 4 of our best selling cheeses that are in our shop. So they're cheeses that we taste out actively within our shop to our customers and people just love. So a nice balanced across the range. We start off with the Curcums, which is actually our best selling cheese in our shop. It's a great crowd pleaser. Now Graham, who makes this, 3rd generation, and he makes traditional creamy Lancashire the way that his family always have. I love Graham because he's not doing it because it's on trend or foodie. He makes Curcums Lancashire cheese because he has done all his life, and before that his mum did, and before that his grandma did. We're the last couple of shops who still buy it in this large traditional format where it's buttered up on the outside. It's maybe 2 or 3 days with the curd, which are old-fashioned Lancashire recipes. There's a little video on our webpage talking to Graham a bit more about his traditional recipe, but I hope you enjoy it as a nice, good, easy all-rounder. Next cheese on there is St Andrew's Cheddar, Scottish Cheddar, made by Jane Stewart. And the batches you're eating, probably about 13 months old. Scottish Cheddars tend to be quite big and sharp and powerful, and this is a classic example of that. The reason being is that their animals are fed on quite a lot of the byproducts of the whisky and the oat industry, and produce a real fatty, rich milk. Jane Stewart's a classic example. She and her husband farm just in Fife. Her husband farms the animals, and literally across the yard from the milking parlour, the milk goes straight across, and Jane makes a cheddar style in the classic Scottish version, really. Nice big powerful cheddar to kind of contrast the Lancashire in taste and texture and flavour. The next cheese you've got is the Bygod. This is a raw milk traditional brie. This is made by Johnny Crickmore on his family farm, and they are down in Bungay in Suffolk. And what they're trying to do here is make a brie kind of as good as the French. I mean, the style of that French, they've changed their breed of cows to be a French breed of cow. They use yeast and bacteria, classic to France as well. The cheese varies throughout the year and throughout the seasons, but they make using their own raw milk straight out the cow, straight into the cheese making vat, and just make a real classic style of brie that has a real richness and fullness of flavour, not just one dimensional. And the final cheese you've got in there is one of my personal favourites for blues. It's Young Buck. And now this is made by Mike. Now Mike came to us quite a few years ago and asked us what type of cheese we needed. And we said there's no real great example of unpasteurised British blue cheeses. So he looked at old-fashioned Stilton recipes, which were slightly moister and not as aggressively blue. So you can see it's not as intensely blue as like a modern day Stilton or blue cheese. And he took those influences and moved back to Northern Ireland, and he mixed with unpasteurised milk. He makes to that old-fashioned recipe, gentle bluing, a nice yeasty rind, and makes by hand. Just him and his best mate Jono make cheese traditionally using One Farm's local milk down in Newtonards near to Belfast. Thanks once again for supporting traditional farmhouse cheese and these particular 4 individual producers. I hope you enjoy the box. If you've got any questions, you can either drop me an email or again look on the website for some little videos on how these are made and a bit more information about them.